My name is Matty Tottenham. I'm the host of the W Number podcast based out of Massachusetts. I'm on Chatting with Stacks, bro.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Stacks. I'm your host, Bill Stacks, and today I got Matty from the W Number podcast.
The knife
You don't even feel it, though, right? You feel it?
Nah. It felt like a punch. It was like, just like a gut punch, almost like, you could feel
the adrenaline. The adrenaline rushing, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your celly doing?
Yo, he stood there. He was frozen, straight frozen, bro. He pissed himself. I'm not gonna lie. He straight pissed his pants. And but so when he stabs me, bro, this kid stabs me in my back. I popped up and I hit him with a 2-piece. Everything I had, dude. Like I put it on, like I fucking hit him, dude. And the kid just looked at me. He was like, bro, shook it off. I was like, dude, I was so shocked that I didn't knock him out that I didn't even swing again for a second. I just looked at him like, yo, this dude, bro, right? He charged me against the back of the wall, got his head in my solar plexus, and my left leg ended up on a stool. Caught up on the stool, and I had no way, like 1 foot on the ground, 1 foot off the ground, and he's going like this. And I'm thinking he's sewing me up, you know what I mean? Like it's getting me. And I'm hitting him like this, but he's so close to me, I had no power. So I stopped and I looked at my celly and I'm like, really, dude? You're just gonna stand there? And he snapped out of it, jumped on the kid's back, grabbed him by his face like this, and fell backwards. But when he did, Will rolled on him, hit him in the face. But luckily the thing was bent. So all it did was cut the bridge of his nose so you could like lift his nose up right here.
Yeah.
But he got him in the face once and I came in, I swept him, I knocked him out. And that right as I was gonna kick him. After I hit him, I knocked him out. I was gonna start kicking him, and boom, this fucking big ass Samoan cop came in and just grabbed me and fucking ragdolled me right on the bed, dude.
If your CO didn't, if your celly didn't grab him, it could have been bad, right?
Well, what I noticed after they came in, so after the fight, when the cops ran in, they take Will, they cuff him up, lug him out, then shut our door and leave us there. I'm like, oh, this is great. Get round two as soon as the doors open again. Like it was crazy, but they ended up coming and getting us. They were just waiting for bed space in the hole. They didn't have it yet, but obviously I'm not going to ask for help, so I'm staying there if they keep me there. You know what I mean?
You're bleeding a lot, right?
I was bleeding out of the side of my thing. I had holes all in my shirt. One right here through my chest. A bunch of them on the side right here where the knife kept on going in and out. Then one on my back where there was blood coming out of my back really bad. But these ones, it looked like a lot of blood, but it was really just surface scratches because when he was stabbing me, the knife was just digging out the side of it wasn't going straight. It wasn't going in me. You know what I mean? It was just, It was cutting me, but not stabbing me. You know what I mean? Because it bent off my rib off that first shot. But when the cops took them out of there, they left the knife on the floor for a minute. They were looking around on the floor. I don't think they even knew at first, you know what I mean? But because he was on the floor and my celly was on the floor and they're looking down, they seen it over there near like the corner of the toilet. And when they picked it up, I seen the knife was just straight like bent to the side. And I'm like, ooh, that motherfucker bent it on me or something. And I didn't even really realize what it bent on until I got, to the hole and was like having my celly look at me and they tried to give me pictures. I refused the pictures, the medical care. Sorry, they took some pictures of me that I wasn't, you know what I mean? When I was stripped, like after obviously I had my underwear on, but when I'm putting my shirt on, they grabbed one picture of my back, but any pictures of my front, none. And then they ask you for medical care if you want to go up. I refused all medical care. So they sent me straight to the box. I just went down there. I woke up in the morning time, just stuck to my mattress for a little while because it was like a pick or something. It was just bleeding when I slept. So I would wake up and have that dried blood like crusted to the mattress. But other than that, it wasn't,
Is there any other major events that happen while you're there?
In Worcester, no. I ended up going, they sent all the hooligans got 80x'd or no. 80. It's like something where they administratively segregate you. Like, and they did it with any of the vice lords, any of the kings, all these people that were involved in that war, like that fight. they put you in segregation, like on a you're like, that's your unit for a little while, you know what I mean? Whatever, but I'm not sure how that works, but they just kept me down there for a little bit.
Do the cops know you're in the gang? Do they figure out you're in the gang, or you don't care? You just telling them you're in the gang?
I mean, they know, you know what I mean? They know. I didn't know. I don't tell them I'm in the gang. I mean,
they kind of figure it out. They kind of figure it out.
Know, you know what I mean? They know.
Yeah.
They do send down, so they come down with these people, they're like gang task people for the prison.
Yeah.
And they pulled me and my cellmate out and was, asking me. I told them, this is what I said to him. I said, I'm not from this county and I don't really know much about it, dude. But, if you're going to keep me in the hole, I think it would be probably, better to send me back to my county and let them deal with me. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't seem right to just have me stuck in this hole. You know what I mean? I don't even know nothing about it, So they were just like, yeah, we're, but that was it, really. There was nothing else going on. They just sent me down. So what happened in that place, though, they were planning on shipping out a lot of people anyways, because they had a federal cap in the place. So the feds came in, they capped the joint out, and they were sending out like 100 people a night on buses. At first, they were just letting them go home. Anybody with a nonviolent offense, it was a drum roll every night. Brrr, everybody be banging on the door, and they'd call off a list of names, tell you to get on the phone, call your family, come get a ride, you're going home. Like, literally, guys with 2 years left in the county, like,
really just booting them out.
Just booting them out. So, and then anybody who couldn't get booted out with violent crimes, whatnot, was getting sent to other counties. Anybody from other counties getting sent back to their county. So they was already planning on sending me back to my county anyways, I think. But
because you weren't getting that, right? You weren't getting that get out early thing.
Nah. I smoked somebody with a 2x4.
Yeah, they weren't doing that.
Yeah.
So what you end up getting out, right? Out of prison. Where do you go from there when you get out?
Well, shit, I didn't get out from that bid for, about 6 years, dude. I ended up going upstate.
You end up catching more time?
Oh, yeah.
In Connecticut, if you fight a CO, you get 5 years added to your sentence. If you put your hands on a CO, it's 5 years added on. Now, you were able to get away with hitting COs and not getting 5 years, right?
Yeah, I got 2 a day on and after for the one in the county. And during double bunking, they gave me another case on a cop, but it wasn't as serious. Like we were all ripping out rioting, and I hit a cop with a foxtail. They gave me like 3 months or 6 months, 6 months on and after.
A lot of this stuff I don't know what it is, because it sounds like it's from Maine, like Massachusetts. It's like Massachusetts slang, so I don't know half of this stuff.
Yeah, so there was when I was in the box, so they were doing double bunking, and I was in the box, and fucking my boy Stevie Bass, we were coming out of the hole together, and fucking he was like, I told him straight up, like, if they try to put you in a double bunk, I'm gonna ride out. If they try to put me in a double bunk, I'm gonna ride out. So no matter what, I'm riding out. And if they try to put either one of us in a double bunk, but as soon as I got down to the block with him, they said he was going in a double bunk. So before I went out of the hole, I had made I took my pillowcase and I put all my books in there, and then my wet laundry. So I had kind of soaked the books like in like damp, made them damp so they were heavy.
Yeah.
And I had the wet laundry in there. And fucking when I went downstairs, I just took that thing and just crushed the back of the computer. And when the cop jumped over the desk, I hit him with it.
Oh man, that's what they call a foxtail.
Yeah, I mean, there's a foxtail, the broom thing where you sweep up with, and then there's a foxtail you make it out of something, you swing it, Yeah.
Is that like a lock and a sock, right? Is that what they call a foxtail?
Definitely could be.
I've never heard that term before. Never heard that. When you catch this extra time, do they send you to court? Do you got to go to court and everything like that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I was in. They send you to the court from the county where the max is. So it's called Clinton District Court. You know what I mean? You go there. They got the best meatball subs. Like, yeah, a lot of lifers used to catch cases just to go to Clinton District and get the lunch. No bullshit.
A lot more time is going by. When do you finally come across Aaron Hernandez? That's way down the road, right?
Yeah, so I come across Aaron when I was on my second bid in 2000 and I want to say 15, I think. Yeah, it's like 2015 or 16 or something like that. But yeah, I met him the first time when he first came up there. I wasn't on the block with him. He was down in M1 with one of my brothers. His kid, his name's Jason Nobles, Boo Boo. He's in the feds now. I made videos about him on my channel, and about Double A. But I met him the first time. It was in Michael 1 when he first came into the orientation unit, and he had already been friends with my friend for a little while, and I had approached him. I gave him a couple of squares of K2 and some tea and some paper to roll it up and a lighter and all that shit. And he had just come out of the hole for a fight that him and my friend were involved in. So like he was already like, he knew who white dudes were, who guys were, you know what I mean? Like if you were a boyo, Aaron kind of, he would fuck with you because of Boo Boo and how close him and Boo Boo were.
Oh, so he was involved with people, but you knew that he was coming to the prison before he even got there, right?
Oh yeah, yep. When I was in Walpole, when they changed Walpole to classification, so on my second bid, classification was actually Walpole and not a maximum security anymore. So they changed it to classification. That's where I went to class. And when I was in class, Aaron was all over the TV. Like that was when his case was going to trial. That was when he was just taking the time or just getting sentence on the first one. But before he even took all that shit, like nobody believed he would actually get sentenced. Nobody believed he would actually get a life sentence or go to prison. Everybody just kind of was like, yeah, it's another superstar about to walk. But sure enough, man, they had him nailed. And
it was big news. It was big news out there, right?
For real. It was definitely big news. And because of where he lived, a lot of people from my area, like, they knew him, they ran into him. Like he wasn't just like your average football player. Like he was a street dude, bro. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a lot of street football players, but Aaron was a little stuck, I think.
100%. People don't know, but I'm from Bristol, Connecticut.
Yeah.
And I've had some interactions with Aaron Hernandez. He's 10 years younger than me. We're going to talk about that when I go on your show. And
fact, I can't wait to do that, bro. That is going to be absolutely fantastic. I know my viewers are going to really appreciate that. That's going to be a big one. That's going to be a big one, bro.
I've tattooed Charlie Boy. I've tattooed Aaron. Well, I'm going to tell you all the stories and it's
get
pretty
all the
wild, pretty wild stuff. Yeah, I'm going to get you some footage. Was Aaron, because there's a lot of controversy that if Aaron was gay or not in prison. Now, what are your thoughts on that? And what can you tell me about his character when he was there? And what do you think that he was?